FIA bullshitting again. Max getting preferential treatment again. We starting to get back to no consistency. Okay, so listen, back in Monaco, Ferrari launches a protest, which they should. Formula One looking suspect, as they have, about Max Verstappen crossing the yellow line up on his pit lane entry. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the protest. Then we will take a look at some of the documents and articles that they refer to in their protest so we can get a better idea of what is looked for. What are we expecting? What is to be expected? What rules are supposed to be followed? And we're going to look at the wording of those rules to see if Max Verstappen should have been penalized, which I'm telling you right now, there should have been a penalty. But we're going to look and see what they said. So we're going to look at the first initial, and we're also going to look at video. So I will show video clips here. So just hold tight. But I think it's important for us all to be able to have a good, healthy debate and learn together by looking at some of these articles and these documents in which they are referring to so that we can develop our own ideas. But still, you have to understand rules are rules, right? Unless you come up with another said document that waives that rule. Okay. And this is not something that does not or only solely impacts Max. Like, this is not something that it only impacts Max's health or his safety. This is something, a rule that basically impacts the entire grid. If broken, catastrophic things or incidents or unneeded accidents can happen. OK, so let's first look into the regulation and the documents and the protest first. OK, so first thing we're going to look up to here is the actual document that states the protest against Red Bull. And as you see right here, it says at the top in red, I did this to highlight it because I didn't activate my pointer. So I'm pretty sure that you all will appreciate this. So you know exactly what I'm looking to. So in red, it says the protest is rejected as it is not founded. All right. So below here in the procedure in the light blue, it says lodged a protest. Ferrari lodged a protest against Car 1 entered by Oracle Red Bull Racing Team. Ferrari claimed in its protest that the car failed to keep to the right of the solid yellow line at the pit exit when leaving the pits and therefore failed to comply with section 11.1. The director event notes and therefore breached Article 16.1 of the FIA Formula One sporting regulations, as well as Chapter 5, Section 5, Appendix Lima of the FIA International Sporting Code. All right. So right there, they're listing the documents in which they're saying there was something done wrong. And according to these articles or regulations, this is what he's done wrong. Max Verstappen is who we're talking about. We'll scroll on down again here in light blue into the stipulations, which is another important part that you all should see. Stipulation: all parties agreed that Car 1, which is Max Verstappen, Verstappen, did have part of its front left and rear left tire on the left side of the yellow line. Look at that. They all agree. So all parties involved here are the FIA, Formula One. We also have Red Bull, Ferrari, who launched a complaint. Everybody here agrees that Max Verstappen's tire, left side, front and rear, are on the left side of the yellow line. Well, we just read above certain criteria that says the cars are supposed to be on the right side of the yellow line. So right here, even in the stipulation, on a document that says they rejected Ferrari's protest, saying that basically it's going to be dismissed. We'll see that as we move further down. But within this document, they state and say that his car clearly crossed the yellow line. It's not on the right side of the line. All parties agreed that most of the left front and left rear tire of that car remained on the yellow line. Okay, so look at that. It doesn't even say remained on the right side of the yellow line. They say that although tire on front and rear crossed, that still the tire was on the yellow line. Now, remember what it said earlier. To the right of the yellow line is where all of the car is supposed to be. So clearly in this document that they're saying they're rejecting Ferrari's claim, they've admitted, all parties have admitted including Red Bull, that Max's car has crossed the yellow line, that his front and rear left tire are on the left side of the yellow line, while a good portion of the tire front and rear are on the yellow line. Okay, all right. So let's just get into this further. Let's go ahead and go down a little bit further, all right? This is where we get into some of these shenanigans that are being pulled. So right here, again in light blue, the protest is therefore dismissed and the protest fee is forfeited. The protest fee is forfeited. So that means not only are they dismissing something that has clearly been done wrong by Max Verstappen and the Red Bull team, but Ferrari, for paying a fee to launch a protest, will not get their money back. Well, damn, that's a double messed up. So one, we clearly admit in this document. Now keep in mind, this is only the protest document. Only in the protest document that states above in the header it's rejected, you're admitting that Max did something wrong and he broke the rules. And then later on down below, we see that all parties agree that he broke the rules. And then further, we see that Ferrari will not get their money back for something that we found he broke the rules, but you're also not going to get your money back. Okay, so now let's take a look at these other regulations, some of the regulations that they refer to, all right? So right here, which is 11.1, and this is going to be the director event notes, okay? And this is every event. It says in 11.1, if you read the section 11, it says lines at the pit entry and pit exit. All right. So pit exit, my mistake for earlier, pit exit. But I was meaning that he's entering back into the race. 11.1, in accordance with Chapter 4, Section 5 of Appendix Lima to the ISC, which is International Sporting Code, drivers must keep to the right of the solid yellow line at the pit exit when leaving the pits and stay to the right of this line until it finishes after turn 1. Do y'all get that? Do you understand that? So that clearly states the car stays to the right of the solid yellow line at all times, going up and entering back into traffic until they clear it, until there is no more line, because the line stops, which we're going to look at video. And I'm going to show you Perez. I'm going to show you Perez as he exits the pit lane and enters back into traffic. I'm going to show you those images. But then let's look at this final document before we get into some of the goodies, all right? So now we're going to look at this document, 16.1 of the sporting regulations, right here highlighted in green. Stewards or race director may give instructions to competitors by means of special circulars in accordance with the code. These circulars will be distributed to all competitors who must acknowledge receipt. All this is saying basically is, you know the damn rules. You know what you're supposed to and what you're not supposed to do. All teams, including Red Bull and Max Verstappen. You know this. So let's get into something else that's a little bit suspicious, because I'm going to show you some clips from actual race, the actual race event at Monaco. All right. I'm going to show you these clips and we're going to compare and look at something. Okay. So the first clip I'm going to show you is Perez. I don't know if this was his first or second one, but it doesn't matter. We're comparing two different clips of Perez, and then I will show you the Max clip. Okay. And I will point out something that is very odd, which is why I don't understand why we don't have this angle of Max. Well, I understand now why we don't have it, but why still haven't we been shown it? So here we go. Perez, here he goes, getting ready to enter back into traffic, car to the right of the yellow line. As you see right there, he exits, clears the yellow line, doesn't cross, doesn't get on the yellow line. All right, so let's look at clip 2 of Perez once again. Here goes Perez once again. All right, this is, I think, when they were doing a double stack, because Verstappen right there is in the pits. Boom, right there. He does it again. He has not crossed the yellow line. He has not crossed the yellow line. And did you see the angle? I want you to pay attention to this angle. I want you to pay attention to how we have this above angle, clearly, of many drivers coming out, entering back into traffic, this pit lane. And this angle is very critical to us being able to see if said things are protested, if these cars follow those rules, okay? Those angles are important. So right now, let's go ahead and look at Max Verstappen, all right? Let's look at his angle. Let's check this out. All right, so here goes Max. Clearly, right now, car is to the right of the yellow line. We have no problem with this. As of right now, Max has broken no rules. As we proceed to go down here, bow. Max is already crossing the yellow line. He's already on the yellow line. Then, boom, he has crossed the yellow line. If at this point he has crossed the yellow line is underneath the side pod. Now, remember, it don't just say, if I'm not mistaken, let's take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. Let's look at this regulation one more time before we look at this video one more time. This regulation states that, I want to be sure I'm reading this right, in yellow, pit exit when leaving the pits and stay to the right of this line until it finishes. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't say anything specifically about just the tire, right? It doesn't say that, right? I'm going to read it from the beginning. In accordance with Chapter 4, Section 5, Appendix Lima, drivers must keep to the right of the solid yellow line. That is what it says. The solid yellow line. The entire car must be under control by the driver and to the right of the solid yellow line. That's not on the yellow line. Side pot not on the yellow line. But we clearly saw in the document all parties agreed that Max had crossed the yellow line. So let's look at his video one more again.
11 seconds quicker than the leader. Now here's a pit lane.
Here goes Max, and he's crossing, and he's crossed, and there it is. But what is funny right here, what is funny in this video clip that I'm showing you, that is the only angle I have of Max. That's the only angle shown of Max in a race. Why did Formula One, who showed multiple cars leaving the pit lane at the above angle, which clearly and better at a better vantage point shows if they've maintained that yellow line? We got several clips of Perez. We got several clips of Mercedes, Ferrari even. Why is it that we do not have this angle of Max up on this time when he has broken a regulation, when he's broken a rule? And now we see they're not going to even penalize him for this rule, although they admitted he broke this rule. This is what we mean by this consistency. This is what inflamed the Formula One viewers, Formula One supporters up on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix when rules were not instated as they should have been, as they were clearly laid out. This is the problem. And it seems to be we're having this problem with this driver and this team. And then you took Ferrari's money when you really should have gave, you should have gave it back. Now, maybe, I'm going to say this, maybe forfeited doesn't mean, because when we get our money forfeited, if we pay for something that's forfeited, it means that we lose that money. Maybe forfeited might mean to them they did return the money to Ferrari. And if they did, cool. That's fine that you returned it. But really, it shouldn't have been returned because the claim should not have been rejected. Either way it goes, it just means at least they didn't get screwed on the rejection, and then Formula One kept their money. So maybe I'll look into that. I'll leave that for y'all to look into it, and y'all can debate it. But one thing that's not debatable is the fact that the rules state you have to keep your car to the right of the yellow line, which Max clearly didn't. Another thing that is not debatable, all parties admitted that Max broke the rules by saying that his tires, front and rear, were on the left side of the yellow line, while rest of his tires were clearly on the yellow line. And this includes his side pod would also have to be on and across the yellow line, that he broke the rules. That's not debatable. That's not a debate. So I don't know why some people might get in my comment section trying to pick up some damn fallacy. These are rules I just stated. These are rules I just showed you. These are official documents I just referred to for you. This is actual footage that I just showed you. But you will still have some idiots debating in my comment section with the bullshit. Hey, I guess, you play silly games, you get silly prizes. I guess so. All right. Some people, although educated, they just refuse. They just want to be ignorant. Why? Because that's where their truth lies. They can only bask in this fictitious world of truth if they choose to remain ignorant, because they know in reality it doesn't exist. Well, I'm going to leave that here for you all. Just wanted to go ahead and cover that. We're getting ready to go into a break. So we're going to have more content coming up. I will be live this weekend, probably on Sunday, with a topic. Just stay tuned for that. Still developing that. So just be mindful that these things are happening. All right. And right now, although some people would debate it's not important, well, I guess it would depend on when it becomes important. Like the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That was important, right? But maybe if it happened in an earlier race, you're saying it wouldn't be so important? No, we can't do that anymore. These rules have to be enforced as they're laid out, especially if you're going to say in a document that he broke the rules. Come on, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. All right, just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.